75,000 British soldiers were removed from the battlefield. Not by bullets, not by bombs. By something sitting in your kitchen drawer right now. That's not a metaphor. That's a documented historical fact. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what it means. Right now, there are 11 items at your local ASDA. Every single one costs under $5. Every single one has been used, carried, or documented by the British Armed Forces. Most people walk past these items every single week. They buy the expensive gear, they trust the tactical brands, and they get it completely wrong. This list will outperform 90% of survival kits sold online. Stay until item 9. Because item 9 sealed a chest wound in Helmand Province, Afghanistan, and it's sitting in your kitchen right now. Here's what most people don't understand about military survival. The British Army doesn't care about brands. It cares about function per gram. Of atoms don't carry 300-pound tactical kits. They carry Bic lighters and bin bags. That's not a joke. That's doctrine. In 2025, the UK government surveyed over 10,000 British adults. 46% believed their local authorities were not prepared for an emergency. Not slightly unprepared. Not at all prepared. Nearly half the country, the people who actually train for collapse, don't shop at survival stores. They shop where you shop. They buy what you ignore. Let's go through every single item. Forget the $100 ferro rod. One disposable Bic lighter delivers 3,000 ignitions. A 5-pack from ASDA costs under $2. That is 15,000 ignitions. British Army doctrine issues. Bisto lighters. 2 infantry. Not ferro rods. Not magnesium strikers. Bisto lighters. Here's why. When it's dark, it's wet, and your hands are shaken from cold, a lighter works first time. A ferro rod demands dry tinder. It demands technique. It demands fine motor skills you won't have. The lighter doesn't care. Running total, under $2. Every British infantryman carries a roll. Not for wiring. One roll replaces 5 separate products. Wound closure strips. Blister plasters. Cordage. Gear repair. Patches. Seam. Sealant. 5 functions. One item. Weighs almost nothing. Most people buy 5 separate products for these jobs. They spend $15 and add half a kilogram to their pack. You spend 90 cents and add grams. Wrap it around your lighter to save space. Running total, under $3. Cordage is the second most used resource in any field scenario. Right after water, here's what most people miss about Paracord. The inner strands separate into thinner cordage. That gives you fishing line, suture, thread, trap triggers. You either carry cordage or you fabricate it. Fabrication takes hours. A $2 purchase takes seconds. While others strip bark for improvised rope, you're already building shelter. Running total, under $5. This is the item that changed warfare. WWI, Western Front. Winter, 1914. Over 20,000 British troops were taken out of the fight. Not by German machine guns. By their own feet. The 48th Division reported that trench-foot casualties outnumbered battle casualties 3-1. By the end of the war, 75,000 British soldiers had been removed from fighting because of trench foot. 75,000, a condition that petroleum jelly directly prevents. Apply it to your feet before any long movement. Apply it to lips, knuckles, any exposed skin. Now here's the second function. Vaseline smeared onto a cotton wool ball creates a fire accelerant. It burns for approximately 4 minutes. That is the exact technique taught in British Army Basic Field. 1 jar. 2. Critical functions. Under $2. Running total, under $7. The SAS Survival Manual lists a heavy-duty bin bag as one of 5 items to always carry. Not 5 out of 50. 5 out of 5 immersion seep, ground sheet, water collection, surface, solar still liner, improvised, dry bag for clothing and electronics. 1 bin bag, weighs grams. It compresses to nothing. No single-purpose item in any outdoor shop matches that function to weight ratio. People spend $30 on a dry bag that does 1 job. You spend $150 on a roll that does 5. By the heaviest gauge ASDA stocks. Running total, under $9. World War II. Dr. Harry Coover was searching for materials to build clear plastic gun sights. He wasn't trying to create an adhesive. He accidentally discovered cyanoacrylate, and then he forgot about it. 20 years later, in Vietnam, military medics rediscovered what he found. Soldiers were bleeding out before reaching hospitals. Medics began spraying cyanoacrylate directly onto open wounds. It bonded skin in seconds. It stopped the bleeding. Lives were saved. British combat medics still carry it today as a backup to sutures. A 1-gram tube costs around $1. It also repairs broken kit, seals leaks, and fixes boot soles. Carry 2 tubes. They weigh nothing. Running total, under $11. Write this down. This is where most prepper lists lose all credibility. They skip the boring truth. Pain management is a documented operational capability multiplier. Military research confirms it. Untreated pain reduces your ability to think, decide, and act. That's not discomfort. That's a direct threat to your survival. Paracetamol and ibuprofen work differently in the body. Together, they cover inflammatory and non-inflammatory pain. Broader coverage than either alone. 2 multi-packs cost under $3 total. While others pack tactical gear and forget basic medicine, you're protecting the one system that actually matters. Your ability to think clearly, running total. Under $14, forget everything you've heard about this item. Forget the bullet wound myth you've seen online. That's not why they matter. Each tampon contains approximately 6 grams of medical-grade compressed cotton. It expands to fill narrow wound channels. British Army medics documented their use in Northern Ireland. They documented their use in the Falklands. Field dressings ran short. These didn't. They also work as tinder. As waterproof, Ace kindling wicks. 8 cents per unit. No dedicated survival product at any price matches at utility per penny. Running total, under $15. This is the item I told you about at the start. The kitchen drawer item that sealed chest wounds in Helmand Province. Here's why. Standard cling film is sterile on its inner surface, straight off the roll. The NHS recommends it as a first-line dressing for burns. It's non-adherent. It's transparent for monitoring. It's airtight. In Afghanistan, penetrating chest wounds were among the most dangerous injuries on the battlefield. Air, entering a wound through the chest, can cause tension, pneumothorax. Tension, pneumothorax kills. Fast. Cling film, applied correctly, creates an occlusive seal. It stops air entering the wound. It buys time for evacuation. Military trauma courses teach this technique. A 30-meter roll costs 70 cents. 70 cents. People spend $40 on dedicated medical wound kits that do one job. Cling film handles burns, chest seals, and wound protection for under $1. Nothing in any medical kit is this versatile at this price. Running total, under $16. April 1992. Sarajevo, Bosnia Serb forces surrounded the city. They cut off water. They cut off electricity. They cut off food. What followed was the longest siege of a capital city in modern warfare. 1,425 days. Nearly 4 years. During that siege, the black market price of 1 kilogram of coffee reached the equivalent of $390. $390. For coffee, people burned their own furniture to stay warm. They foraged for dandelions under sniper fire. And in that environment, Bouillon cubes became one of the most sought-after barter items in the city. 1 cube transforms a liter of foraged water and scraps into a hot meal. Each cube delivers approximately 1,000 milligrams of sodium that prevents hyponatremia during sustained exertion. At 15 cents per cube, nothing outperforms them on survival utility per dollar. Buy 2 boxers? Running total, under $18. This item has never appeared on a civilian prepper list. It should be on every single one. Each one holds approximately 2 liters of water. Weight, under 1 gram per unit. That is the lightest emergency water carrier in existence. British and American special forces have carried them as canteen liners since World War II, documented in multiple NATO survival kits. They also function as elastic tourniquets, fire-starting magnifiers, when filled with water. Dry storage bags for tinder and electronics. Most people carry a heavy metal canteen. You carry something that weighs nothing, costs pennies, and does for jobs. Running total, under $20. 11 items. Total spend, under $20. Every single one tested by the British military in conditions most civilians will never face. Let's go through them one final time. Disposable lighters. Black electrical tape. Paracord. Petroleum jelly. Heavy-duty bin bags. Superglue. Paracetamol and ibuprofen. Tampons. Cling film. Bouillon cubes. Non-lubricated condoms. You don't need to order anything online. You don't need to visit a specialist shop. Print this list. Walk into ASDA. You'll be done in 15 minutes. That is the entire point. Preparation is not expensive. It is not complicated. It is a decision, and you just made it. The next video covers the 30-day readiness protocol built around this exact kit. Subscribe now, because you don't want to build half a system.